guys, it has been far too long and my life has been crazy, and I just kind of wanted to go over what I've been doing, why I haven't been filming, and why I'm getting back into doing videos. It is Wednesday, June the 10th. It's about noon, and I've actually filmed this video like 2 or 3 times, and I wasn't happy with it because it wasn't very concise and I kind of got emotional during it, and when you hear it all, you'll understand why. If you hear or see anything in the background, it's either A, my cat that is walking up on us now, or our chickens in the other room, and the wind is also blowing because I have the door open. Obviously the background has changed, and I will get into that as well. In the last videos, I believe that was 2018, just after my show, I think, or just like right before my show in October, I did the Oklahoma Grand Prix for bikini, and I actually took 5th. I was in the top 5, having never done any sort of bodybuilding show, having never done a diet before. I coached myself through my entire bulk, through my prep, and then through coming out of all of that, so I was really pleased with the results. Post-show, we were living with my grandmother, helping to take care of her because she is 89 years old. We started noticing signs of Alzheimer's and dementia. We brought these concerns to family members and felt that they were not taking our concerns seriously. You know, when you're around somebody all the time, you get to see things that other people don't get to see, or they only get to see portions of. It's not uncommon for elderly people to be forgetful, but it is uncommon for them to start getting mean, start getting nasty. There was a lot going on, and I again, not going to get into all of that. Post-show, we started noticing Grandma was not doing as well as we had hoped. Then I had a really horrible flare-up in which we thought that I was going to die. I'd gone like 10 days without food or water. I couldn't keep anything in. If you get my drift, both ends here. We did have to go to the hospital. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. It was really terrible. It was so bad we started writing up our wills. We thought that was the end. I'd lost more weight from that flare-up than I did for the show through the entire prep. It was absolutely crazy. And then one day it just ended. That's the crazy part about autoimmune disorders, is that you could be on a flare-up out of nowhere or out of a flare-up out of nowhere for no reason, no rhyme or reason at all. Then we started to try and address the issues with my grandma's Alzheimer's and dementia. And I really felt that our family was not taking our concerns seriously. Well, needless to say, it didn't end well. My grandmother, in a fit of rage, kicked us out, and we did have to find a new place to live very quickly. As of today, Grandma is in a care facility. She is very well taken care of. Family has really started to realize the depth of what we were talking about. We ended up moving to another family member's house that they were prepping to sell. We knew that this was going to be very short term, so we started looking for a house or an apartment or a timeshare or anything like that that we could do that fit our lifestyle, that fit our finances. And during this whole thing, we've been trying to pay off my student loan debt. I don't know why that sounded like that coming out of my mouth just now, as well as our credit card debt. Then that way we could be financially stable for the future, you know, set up things like our retirement funds, make sure that we're prepared to get a house. If we need to do anything with our vehicles, we can do that. We just couldn't find anything. So we started looking into alternative housing options, things that most people wouldn't expect, like building a metal building, like a shed, and then living in that, or doing like a tiny house, or a yurt, or anything we could find. Nothing worked for us. It was just, it was a downhill spiral from living there after the show and the flare-up, and it was just not good. Well, we ended up looking into living in an RV, like a travel trailer. Found one, like, very quickly. It was utterly surprising. The one that we found was actually in really great condition. It was being sold by a guy who was tall, which is kind of a big deal when you're a tall person, because in a regular RV, the countertops tend to set pretty low. The bed can end up being a little short for you. You might not even be able to stand in the shower. And this fellow had this thing custom made to him to work for him. And so it was absolutely perfect. And we ended up getting the RV and then bringing it out to a different family member's property to set there while we attempted to renovate it and then move into their house in a spare bedroom. And so we started renovations on that. During the same time period, I decided to do my nutrition certification. I started on that, and then I had another flare-up, and it was awful. Now this one wasn't as bad as the previous one that I had after the show, but it was pretty darn bad. I lost a lot of weight. I couldn't function. It was a more low level but longer lasting flare up, and it was really horrible. So obviously renovations on the RV stopped. Obviously working on my certification stopped. Working out stopped. It was crazy. And we decided that I should get a different doctor. So we went in to a doctor that was highly recommended in our area that specialized in people that had issues that nobody could help them with. As soon as I got done telling my story to him, he was like, I know how to fix this. It won't be like a end-all be-all of like, now you don't have this, but it will help you substantially. And I was like, oh, thank God, somebody that finally has a plan, finally has some sort of idea on what to do for me. So we started treatment for leaky gut. And now I deal with lupus and IBS. And so, you know, to hear that I had something else was kind of like, oh God, seriously, like anything else anybody wants to throw at me? He said, no, I think what's causing your lupus and your IBS is the leaky gut. And he said, it's probably been going on for, you know, your whole life and you never knew it. So let's treat that and see what happens, because I think you'll have a light flare up and then I think you'll start to see you're doing better overall. After the treatment, I did have a light flare up and then things started to level out. Instead of those drastic highs and lows, you know, mountains and valleys, more like canyons, it was more like rolling hills, if that makes any sense. It was a lot more stable. Even during my flare-ups, they weren't as bad as my previous flare-ups, which was absolutely awesome. So I went ahead and finished my certification and we started really working on the RV. Then, oh God, it's like one thing after another with me. Then we started having issues with the people living in the house. It wasn't very egalitarian, it wasn't very fair, it wasn't very equal. Now, not all families work, you know, like functioning with everybody like happy-go-lucky and friendly. And my family is no exception. There was a lot of issues going on in the house, a lot of negativity, and it really brought my mental state down. Now, having just come from where I was with the flare-ups to now having my mental and emotional state being messed with, it was like, I can't do this. I can't take this. Coming into the winter of 2019, we decided that it wasn't healthy to live in the house anymore. So we started looking for apartments, but then we were like, well, what do we, oh, I shook the camera again. What are we going to do with the RV? Because we're still working on it. And like, that would be really bad to just leave it here. So we decided, let's move into the RV. It's not done. It's not hooked up to water. We just barely got it hooked up to electricity. It would still give us space between the issues and maybe allow for, a little bit of insulation, a little bit of a barrier between us and them, if that makes any sense. And I don't like to use that in regards to people, like it's us versus them. We moved out to the RV. I started gaining weight again. I was able to eat. I was able to sleep. I had been in the house running on like 3 to 4 hours a night of sleep. I'd lost weight. I'd gotten down to my show weight. I mean, that's really ridiculous. And I was just really depressed. And then I was able to finally sleep. I was able to eat. I was able to feel good. I wasn't feeling a sense of dread coming back to the house. Things started to look up and we really started getting me back in the gym and training, and I was gaining muscle and it was really awesome. And then COVID-19 hit. It's like, anything else? Anything else you want to throw at us? This is great. And then, of course, you guys know, there's been stay-at-home orders. It's just been, this year has been hell. It's been crazy, and now I'm not able to work out because I'm a high-risk patient, so I can't go to the gym. So we ended up going and buying a bunch of weights that we could find, and in many cases it was only one. So if like I had a 15 pound and a 10 pound and like a 20, and it was like, this is gonna be difficult. And then trying to work out, but then obviously with the anxiety and depression that comes with my lupus, plus the situation that we're all facing, it really took a hard turn, and I was like, okay, it's time to focus on me. It's time to focus on myself. So since I wasn't able to go to the gym and I was having a really hard time struggling working out, let's go ahead and do my personal training certification that I keep putting off. So we're gonna see where this goes. Now, as of June 1st, I decided that since I can't do the show that I wanted to do here in Wichita in May of 2021, because I've lost so much time on my bulk, that let's put it off a year. Let's be realistic and put it off a year and do that same show. It's called Midway in May of 2022. And then that way I get a year and a half to work on my schooling, work on my fitness, work on my nutrition, and really get going on this and do it right, and then have that full time period to get back in the groove. And yes, I am working out at home currently. Eventually I will be able to get back into the gym. I'm still training with the same intensity as I was in the gym. It's just weird because like now I'm working out in my kitchen. And if you guys have ever been in an RV, there's not a lot of space, so you have to work with what you've got, and it's a little weird. It's different, and in my entire life is a whole story of how can I do this in a really weird way? So why not? So I think that brings us back up to today. I hope that was concise enough and not too much rambling. But it's been really tough these last few years, and a struggle to find sanity, to find clarity. My life was really put into perspective after having this horrible flare-ups, and then having the depletion of my mental state, and then going, you know what, I have to take care of me, whether anybody else likes it or not, whether anybody else thinks it's right or not, or is weird or not. I have to do what's right for me. This right now, what I'm doing, talking to you guys, is what's right for me. I enjoy working out. I enjoy sharing information, and I enjoy helping people. And even if all I'm doing is showing you how to calculate your BMR, that's still a help, because I know how hard it was for me to find the right information on how to do it in the most simplistic way that was still accurate. You know, fitness isn't easy. It doesn't come cheap. Let's put it that way. It doesn't come cheap. Health and fitness doesn't come cheap. It takes work and effort, and sometimes you have to take a step back and go, okay, this isn't right for me right now. I have to do what's right for me. And if that means not working out that day and sleeping in because you're highly stressed, that's what you got to do. Because if you lose your sanity while you're working out, are you going to be able to complete the next few days of workouts? Are you going to be able to eat right? Have the mental capacity to go, okay, I need to meal plan for next week. Here's what's going on. That's what this is about. I had been pulled so far from that I wasn't able to, how to put this, work on that mission, to work towards that, to work towards my goals in general. So if you take anything from this video, understand that life isn't perfect, mine included, that it is a struggle, and especially right now, we're all stressed out. We're all high anxiety, on high alert, and we're all doing the best we can. I don't know if it showed in any of my past videos over how bad I was doing, but it was pretty bad, and I am in such a better place now. I mean, hell, I have hair now. That's a great thing to say. I have hair again. And I'm working towards a goal again. A goal that is not only achievable, but feasible. You know, it took a little bit to set everything up to get in place, but we're headed in the right direction now. So I hope that was enough information, but not too much, about what was going on. I hope it doesn't sound super negative or anything like that, because we really need some positivity during this difficult time. And yeah, don't forget, never stop improving, and I will check in with you guys in the next video. Much love, much light. Yeah, so I will see you guys later.